Good morning and welcome to Galactic Soul Healing. I hope you're all having a nice day so far. It is the 1st of May here in Australia. My name is Sonia and we're going to be doing a reading for the collective today through looking at the... I've got 4 decks. Let's just throw these up as I'm chatting. So we're going to be using the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. And the Forest just jumped out of my hand. The Forest Fae deck. Must have been a bit excited. I think this is the first time I've used this deck. By Nadia Turner. That's my little mini deck. And I also have a little mini Whispers of the Ocean Oracle by Angela Hartfield. Yep. Wouldn't mind the big deck of that, but I haven't got to it yet. The other thing I'm using for a bit of fun is we're going to be using the Picturica card game, but I've taken the picture cards out of it. I'll explain why we're going to be using those as I'm shuffling. So this is the Starseed Oracle. I'm going to shuffle, and then we have the Oceans... Whispers of the Ocean Oracle, the Picturica, the back of the Picturica cards, and we have the Forest Fae deck. Right, so let's start your shuffling, and I'm going to quickly just do our preamble before we get into it. So meditation this morning was very quick. Been doing my central channel breathing, which has been really helping to kind of get in alignment with things generally. So I'm just looking at my notes here, sorry. This is from my meditation this morning. So I was sitting down, I was thinking, I'm really excited to do a reading. I'd like to do a reading. And the spirit guide that came through for me was Lady Isis and she is a member of the Sisterhood of the Rose. And she was more or less saying, we're here, we're going to help you, as we did last time, obviously a different topic. The topic for today is all about the importance of creativity. Hence, I have these little pictures up here that I did. I'm just going to pull one off and show you close up. These I made ages ago. Was recently cleaning up the cupboard, and so this is all collage pieces from magazines, small bits of paper that I've cut up and put in to that. Have just recently also got back into doing some collage work, which has been really awesome, because you know how we all have, at various times in our lives, we have other things come in front of us, other things step up as in terms of importance that we need to deal with, and sometimes or oftentimes our creativity gets pushed back, but as you know, there are many different ways that we can be creative. Now I also have here a blank. This is actually a canvas, and it's in the shape of a heart, which I thought was pretty cool. I'm actually not going to paint on this, but I'm just putting that there to perhaps it might inspire you or the collective or whatever, to just get in touch with your heart and do some heart-based painting, or you might like to go out and get yourself a heart canvas and paint on that, because the importance of the creativity is that, as Lady Isis was explaining to me, is that creativity, the more we can engage in creative activities at these times, whether it's like on a micro scale, it might be just doing a small doodle, or a small craft activity. It might be doing a little bit of gardening, a little bit of cooking, but kind of being in a creative mode with it. So not sort of being rushed under the pump. We want to kind of have plenty of time to just chill and get the even sort of make it a meditative activity if we can. Or it might be small scale, medium scale, or large scale. So you might be involved in a big community project, or you might be doing something bigger at home. Maybe some family members are helping you out, or you might be doing yourself a big wall painting or a mural or something like that in your house or outside, or whatever. There's so many different things. So let's go into the reasons as to why they're saying that we need to do this at these times. Okay, so creativity is going to help you get into a state of flow. So all of these energies that are coming through now, the solar energies, they're shifting and making us go through changes. So if we can get our body on board in terms of we are being creative and doing new things, it's going to help us psychologically as well, because if we're very fixed in certain routines and we're having to do all these changes physiologically, it feels more disturbing for us. Whereas if we can engage in something creative on a regular basis, it's going to feel more comfortable. I don't know if I've explained that. It's like the body is going to resonate more with the energies coming through if you start doing creative things with it, with your hands, with your body. You might want to do some creative dance. I've got a whole list of activities which we can run through, but it might also come out in the cards. Okay, so navigating changes, it's going to help with that. It also helps with your adaptability, your flexibility, and it's kind of a way to help you to start to use your own ideas. So creativity is about using what you have within, but integrating them into or through materials or external materials to sort of in like this beautiful alchemical process of change, because creativity does involve change, because things change. As for instance, these images here were magazines. Okay, so I've changed the form of them and recreated them into something different, and that's what creativity is about. It's about doing something in a new and different way oftentimes, or it's about creating something almost from nothing, if I can say that. So if you're gardening, you're planting seeds, okay, there is a seed there, but what comes out of that is something quite amazingly different from the actual seed that it started as. So they're saying to things like, think as in terms of the creativity. Your creativity can even become a little bit like a type of spiritual practice, because it can help you to relax, go into a different zone, help you to be contemplative, and also be a time of reflection and consolidation. Okay, so it might just help you to just really kind of come down and ground as well, be really grounding. Okay, so they're saying think in terms of your home. So you might like to do things in your home interior or your home exterior. This is terms creativity. Okay, anything you can think up. Gardening. Okay, gardening, crafts, arts, cooking, any type of self-care. Like it might just be like you want to create a beautiful aromatic bath for yourself. Okay, or beauty. So you might want to, I just went and painted my fingernails the other day, and I was like, I haven't done that for months. I'm like, it's actually a little creative activity. I mean, you could paint each fingernail a different colour if you want to be a bit creative, And sewing, okay, hand sewing, machine sewing, journaling, so creative writing is awesome. And we're going to cut the decks very shortly. I'm just going to quick another shuffle here. Creative spontaneous dance, inspired creative spontaneous music or singing, or photography. So go and taking some photos, okay, and rearranging them in an artwork perhaps. And you can even look into, if you're thinking in terms of creating something new, it might be like looking into new and different forms of spirituality that you haven't previously thought of before. We like to do mind, body, spirit on this channel, and this is why, Starseed Oracle, I kind of put that in there, because that's taking the spirituality into, out of the, not so much in religious dogma, although, there are positives to some aspects of religion, but taking it into like a galactic realm and the science behind it, and energizing the chakra body and things like that, the energy body of the chakras, okay? And you can also look at expressing your creativity through social activities, so joining a group, a club, or a cause that will involve you in a holistic way, so mind, body, spirit, you're activating all those parts of you. Even things like flower arranging, okay, and maybe doing some tie-dyeing of your old t-shirts with your kids in the backyard. You get a few buckets, and you can you tie up the t-shirt in knots with string and stuff. You can Google this, and you put maybe 2 or 3 different colours of dye, and you dump them in there. Kids love doing that. It's an outdoor activity, and you've got to make a mess, so you just be aware of that. Creative word games, okay, even like Scrabble, creative story making, so you could even make cards that you can use to create stories, okay, and basically expanding horizons is what creativity is about. But even like I said, it doesn't have to be a massive, huge undertaking. It can be something quite small. So without any further ado, let's get to saying our prayer, and we're going to pull out these cards, and it's going to be a very creative reading, and I'm going to be pulling meanings out. I'm going to try and be really creative with my meanings, and even if you have your own cards at home, you can actually have a bit of fun with this. And I've just dropped a couple of cards, sorry. Just put those back in. I've even dropped a couple cards. So what I'm trying to say is be creative, okay? You can even do that at home with your own decks. Okay, I think we're going to stop there. Spirit's saying, yeah, we can stop now. So we're going to say a quick prayer, and then I'm going to cut the decks, okay? So we do have the other little deck. You probably can't see that there. If I just pull that up again, I got no idea because this is down a little bit. I can't see if you're in focus, but anyway. Right, I've had coffee this morning. Can you tell? I am racing. Okay, it's Monday morning, right? Okay, thank you, Spirit, and especially Sisterhood of the Rose, for helping us with these readings, and thank you for helping us to navigate these times. We appreciate any kind of information, guidance, hints and tips that you want to point us in the direction of, that's going to help us navigate these Ascension times and these really strong energies coming in that are changing us physiologically and psychologically as well, and expanding our consciousness and helping us to just integrate all of these beautiful shifts and changes in a tangible form, and also helping us to evolve in the directions that our higher selves wish to evolve in, and also doing that in a way that is supportive for our own highest good and for the highest good of all. We thank you once again, and we look forward to this reading, and thank you for your help with this in advance. Okay, I'm just going to cut the decks while you're watching me here. So this is the Forest Fae, and here we have the picture cards. I thought I'd lost these, and I found them, but there's going to be some really fun images in those. I really love my Whispers of the Ocean Oracle because it's has got some nice little deep messages in there, but also I find the ocean and the beach quite inspiring. It's also really relaxing, and the element of water is actually really good for creativity and flow too. So if you're having trouble being creative, you might even find that having a warm shower or a warm bath and just getting into a relaxation mode before you do your arts and crafts might actually help, because we do have to why is that? Okay, that's better. Just working with the elements there, because we are water. We're made of a high percentage of ourselves and our whole body is made of water. So let's go with the fun thing right off the bat. We're going to go with the Pictureka cards, and wow, is that the time? And these cards are quite unusual, okay, so image-wise. So things might come up for you where you go, oh, that's interesting. So here we have a lamp that's not plugged in, and we have a mouse here that is looking at the lamp. Now, you can use these cards to make stories, okay, but the mysterious thing here is that the lamp seems to be shining even though it's not plugged in. So, isn't that interesting? We can interpret that as if we are the lamp, it's like we do not necessarily need to be plugged into the matrix in order to shine and do out and be awesome. Okay? We can do that without being plugged into the matrix. And the other thing is the mouse here, yeah, that's quite interesting. But we could come back to this card, couldn't we? Okay, this is going to be interesting. Whispers of the Ocean. I've got to bring my magnifying glass because I hope I can read that. I may have to rush out and get my magnifying glass, which is going to be embarrassing. Gentle moderation. Okay. Take your time, pressure from others or yourself can be released by integrating what you are trying to accomplish. I don't think that's integrating, that word there. I cannot read it. It's not focused. And I'm really sorry. I'm going to have to grab my magnifying glass. I know exactly where it is, so I'll be back in about, count the seconds, maybe 10. Oh my God, I so apologise. That was about 20 seconds. Even with these glasses, I cannot read the print on these mini cards. One of the drawbacks. Right, we're just going to clean the magnifying glass. Okay, take your time. Right, we said slowing down with creativity here. Gentle moderation. So you don't put too much pressure on yourself, okay, with this creativity thing. You don't have to create a masterpiece or a Mona Lisa. Pressure from others or yourself can be released by renegotiating what you are trying to accomplish. So that's like reframing. So if you've only ever thought of yourself as uncreative and not an artist, and that if you do sit down and do some art and craft, it has to be perfect, amazing, and incredibly fantastic. Okay, what are you actually trying to accomplish? That's probably not a great... If you want to have that goal, you can, okay? It's a free world, free country, whatever. But if you're trying to really help your mind, body, spirit, what you are aiming for, what I would suggest to aim for is a relaxation time. Just something to go, I'm just going to get into a creative mode because I know it's going to be good for my mind, body and spirit. I'm not having to prove anything to anyone else or to myself, and I'm not going to put myself under pressure. Hence, gentle moderation. Creativity is to be done with gentle moderation. That's a really excellent message. And sometimes some of us suffer from impatience, which I have, and I can sometimes take on, try and do too much creativity in one go. We start a project and you're like, I want to finish this right now, but you can't sometimes. Creativity is about taking time. The witch hare. Okay, cross the threshold, leap the hedge, go over the wall. So this is kind of the opposite, but what it's saying is don't be afraid to take a leap of faith, because you know what? Everyone is creative, and like I said, it doesn't really matter. It can be small, medium, or large scale. However you are creative, it's going to be of benefit, okay? And it's not like the old paradigm creativity. The old paradigm artist is the one that has to be almost anal and perfect in everything, single thing that they create, whereas the new paradigm artist is going to be like, let's get together and share our energies, let's share ideas, let's just make this place awesome. Like, we do not have to be perfect. Let's get that into our skulls. We're not aiming for perfection, we're aiming for integration, relaxation, meditation, spiritualization, if I can say that. Oh wow, child of the cosmos. Oh my God. You know how we did the last reading was inner child? This is the other thing about creativity. Creativity, children are very creative. And this is why people that have children right now are going to benefit from this message tenfold, because if you can be prepared in yourself to get creative and get your kids involved, you're going to be ahead of the game. Okay, it's going to be fantastic. I love the little message down here too. Let's just read this. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. Remember what we were just mentioning too about Spirit saying, Lady Isis saying, it's a combination of creativity is a combination of using what's within you and manifesting it. So it's this beautiful kind of integration of like the materials that you're using with your inner. But you can even, just in some ways, you don't have to use materials, external things, to be creative. Like I said, we can do spiritual creativity. And this is just really doing a beautiful creative meditation about we are all children of the cosmos. And see this beautiful heart space, this heart chakra lighting up here. That's such a beautiful image for creativity. And all these lights here, like we have many chakras throughout our whole body, okay? I'm really loving how these are. And you know what? I've just realised, synchronicities. See this? It's about a light. It's about lighting up. Light up your creativity. Activating your creativity will light you up, okay? I think this is what's happened to me. Or it's the coffee. I'm not really sure. But let's go with the next picture card. Now, that to me is quite funny. It's a hilarious image, but it's like this centipede wearing a top hat and a tie and a saw. Okay. A centipede with a saw. Let's put that to the side because we're doing a creative process now, because sometimes we don't have to know what every single thing means until things fall into place. And that's often with the creative process. You just have to kind of evolve and go with the flow. Right. This is the Oracle Whispers of the Ocean. Where you need to be. Wow, this is awesome. We need to be creative. We need to be in our creative zones. Acknowledge how you are feeling. Have faith the universe will take care of a current concern by providing the best possible outcome for all involved. Okay, so that's about having faith that any creative activity that you involve yourself in will be of benefit. Okay. And the thing about feelings too is that you can paint feelings. You can journal your feelings. You can paint feelings. You can even go out and garden your feelings, because gardening is very therapeutic. And there are a whole lot of other types of arts and crafts that you can use to help you with feelings as well. For instance, clay work. If you're feeling quite angry, because clay's got a lot of resistance, you can start bashing the clay, you can start getting into that, or, you know, whatever. There's lots of different art and craft mediums you can use to help with feelings. And that might be also a great way to work with your children. If you've got a big canvas, put it on the ground, get some paint, and just get them to flick paint on there outside, because you know it's going to go everywhere. What have we got here? Forest Fae. I love how we're sort of jumping all over the place in terms of different... This is to spark creativity in you, okay? Or in the collective, hopefully. Strange journeys. Take control of your quest. Choose your companions wisely. Okay, so that's really just saying taking control of your own well-being, not blaming or holding someone else accountable for your well-being, okay? Because we can't always control external circumstances. By quest, I'm assuming they're saying inner quest. So the other thing too is that creativity, if we can start to be creative, it does help us with our own core energy, our own self-definition. And by extension, it's going to help with your quest. It's going to help you to feel like you're in control of things, because if you can be creative practically, then when it comes to real life situations and psychologically speaking, you also become more creatively adaptable and more flexible in your thinking. I can't say that's going to be 100%, but that's been my experience. And when I was studying as an art therapist, okay, that was often what would happen. We'd see people do art therapy over time, and the more creative they got, the more they were able to make shifts and move out of stuck situations, because the subconscious was being the creative force that was needed in order to get things moving, okay? So the thing is, like, it's going to help your journey, okay? Your soul journey is going to be benefited by being creative in any way, shape or form, okay? Deep cellular healing. Okay, this is another extension of the benefits of creativity, is that it is ultimately healing, because it's, if you can activate your creative force, your creativity, it helps that, because we are all creators, it helps that divine aspect within us to awaken. Okay, because we can start to consider new things. If we start being creative and going, oh, look, I've done that, I didn't realize that I'd be able to do that, or I'm pretty happy with that I've made that, and all of a sudden we start to realize that, oh, maybe things aren't as they seem, and maybe things aren't all black and white, and maybe I can do more than I thought I could do, and maybe I am actually a galactic citizen now. Maybe I'm not just a little third dimensional earth person. So it starts to kind of really help you to expand, but in doing that, it's healing, because we are clearing. Creativity clears a lot of blockages, because if the opposite of creativity is like restriction, or it's, for me, creativity equals freedom. Okay, so the opposite of freedom is just stagnation, if I can say that. You're either creative or you're stagnating, or there's a whole spectrum. I guess you can be stagnating sometimes, and then you're a bit creative sometimes, and you're stagnating, and then but in order to create flow in the cells, creativity promotes that process. Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. Oh my God. Arcturus energy. This is the Christ consciousness energy, and that's also one of the strong energies that I felt during that meditation that I mentioned last video about the Sisterhood of the Rose, was that there were Arcturus beings present in that as well, because it's beautiful divine Christ consciousness. Deep cellular healing, another awesome benefit of the creativity. Okay, shall we do another row? I'll keep it quick. I'll try and keep it quick. This is the last row. Okay. Oh, hang on, we didn't go back to the saw. Okay, let's have another look at this one. The centipede. Okay, a little meanings just come on board here. So if we are this looks like a centipede from the Matrix. Okay, he's got many arms and legs. So basically he's been going crazy, doing lots of things, and now he's got this saw, and he's like, well, I'm not gonna cut off my own legs, but I'm gonna cut off a few of those things that are extraneous that I don't need to be doing, so I can carve out some time for myself so that I can be creative. Because imagine if doing all of these activities represented by all of these arms, if none of them were creative, if he was just running around doing things according to the rules, according to what has to be done, according to other people's dictates, according to the system and the things in place, and yada yada yada, and he never, or she never, got to actually participate in anything that was from within. It's got to go through this little process of, hey, I'm going to carve out some time for myself. And that doesn't mean, causing harm. It's just a metaphor, okay? It's a metaphor. So that could almost be think like, I'm going to put myself first and go through some healing, activate my creativity, put myself where I need to be in order to go through some healing, and, take charge of my own little quest. Right, let's do one more row. Like I said, I'm going to get creative here. Okay, this is another interesting one, isn't it? Helicopter has a monster kind of tied there, or some sort of being. It almost looks like. Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to that. Very hard to figure out what that means. But you see how we can't always get the meaning straight off? We can't always understand why something's good straight off. Oh, look at this. That is gorgeous. It says dancing in the rainbow. A perfect creative activity. It just had chills, because as we know, if we are moving creatively, we put some music on. It's not like we're copying someone of how to do the dance. Okay? That's not creativity. Creativity is putting the music on and you moving to the music at your leisure, or the group of people, or whatever. Break free from whatever you feel is holding you back. We just mentioned freedom. Express happiness. Find out what you truly desire. Express happiness. Okay, and that's the other thing too. Choose an activity, a creative activity that you feel you would enjoy, that maybe you used to enjoy, that you haven't done for 10 years or you haven't done for 5 years, and go and do it. Or, and see all these colours, the colour and the play, the dolphin energy is so beautiful. I really love this card. I've never pulled it before, and I just love it. It's so gorgeous. And also inner child, that's going to activate us. Express happiness, okay? So creativity gives us an opportunity to engage in something that is joyful, that makes us happy. Is that a plus? I think so. Yes. All right, I love it. Right. Forest Fae. The Green Man. Okay, that's cool. Embrace your wildness. Okay. Wildness, as in courage, experimentation. And for some people it might be. See, this is the thing. If you're doing certain days and you've got your routine pretty set, to even just go out and buy like maybe a craft magazine or buy some craft supplies, some people can have huge resistance for that, and I get that, right? And so this is saying, take a walk on the wild side and go and buy yourself some art and craft materials, or go and start doing that thing that you wanted to do, that creative thing that you know is going to make you happy. Embrace it. The Green Man is also about grounding, getting back into connection with nature too is also great for creativity. You might like to do maybe on a weekend, have like a creative spiritual day. Go for a walk in nature, come home, have a beautiful bath, and go, I'm going to go and do my collage. I'm going to go do some painting or some gardening or whatever. Last card. Water your garden. Green Man, garden. Okay, this is gardening now. We've had some beautiful just visual cues here of the things we can do. Nourishment, body care, tenderness and rest. Remember we mentioned bath? I mentioned bath so many times. Tenderness, rest, self-care, and that even in itself can be creative, because you can create an atmosphere for yourself. You can create a little routine. You can create a little ritual for yourself to relax and rejuvenate. And it can incorporate, nourishment. But garden is almost like a metaphor here. It can be water your literal garden, or it can be like watering the garden of your soul, which is to relax, rejuvenate, go within, just befriend yourself. And creativity can really help in that process as well. And wow, we have to 33 minutes, and we've just got to go back to, we need to go back to this little guy here, the helicopter. So this is looking to me like, see how that monster is actually, it could actually pull down that helicopter, right? Because it looks really strong. At the moment, it seems that the helicopter's got it all tied up. Okay, so this is an illusion where we think that other things are controlling us, where in actual fact we have the total strength to break free, just as that monster could. Like, he could literally pull that down, rip those ropes off, and just go do something creative. He doesn't have to be tied to this helicopter, that's spinning its thing and, being attached to it. So that's another metaphor, isn't it? The helicopter is the metaphor of all that other stuff that we have to do, that we think that we can never ever break away from for even 1 hour a week. But we can rip those ropes off for 1 or 2 hours a week. It's just something for you to think about. Obviously, if anything I've said does not resonate with you, or it triggers you very negatively and you don't agree with any of it, please don't take it on. Obviously, what I might be saying is not for everyone, but if some of it resonates and you would like to feel inspired or want to go do something creative, that would be awesome. So thank you so much for listening, and I'm going to wrap it up now because this was extra long video. But yeah, importance of creativity. Thank you, Sisterhood of the Rose, for that, because I feel that's really going to support us, mind, body, and spirit, as we go through these Ascension changes. And I think we'll find that generally society and culture and our communities are generally going to come together and be more and more creative and more sharing of their creative skills. So let's look forward to that, and have a great week, and I will see you soon. Maybe tomorrow. It could be the next day. I don't know. I'm going to be creative with this. Ciao for now. Bye.